up? It's Cynthia here, and before you ask, yes, I did cut off all my hair. That is true. Not all of it, but this is quite a change for me, personally. I don't know for you guys, but for me, this is a crazy change. I really like it. It will take some getting used to, but I'm so excited to finally have a shorter haircut. I haven't had a haircut this short since I was like a kid, so yeah, I'm excited about this. But enough about my hair, let's get into my biannual Bibliothon TBR. The first challenge for this readathon is to read the group book, and that is The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. I don't really know much about this book except that I believe the daughter's father is a politician and he gets in trouble, and then I know there's dog walking involved because of the cute dogs on the cover. I've never read a Morgan Matson book before, but I've heard that her writing is absolutely incredible, and because of all the high praise that she's gotten, I am really looking forward to getting into this book. The next challenge is one I'm super grateful exists, and that is free choice, and for that I am reading Kids of Appetite by David Arnold. I got this book using the hashtag books4trade on Twitter, and last year I read Mosquitoland by David Arnold, and it was probably my favorite book of last year. And like, if you have not picked up Mosquitoland, you should pick it up. It's beautiful, okay? It's beautiful, and I know that this is going to be just as beautiful as Mosquitoland because David is an amazing human. So yes, I am looking forward very much. Wasn't very eloquent, but I'm looking forward to reading this book. The next challenge was to pick a book off of the list of the host choices, and for that I'm going with The Archived by Victoria Schwab. This was Megan's choice. This book was in my haul because I heard that the hardcover was going out of print, so I decided to pick it up before it was no longer available. And yeah, I don't really know much of anything about this except that Jessie the reader likes this book, and obviously Megan likes it, so thank you so much for picking it. It has a beautiful cover, and I've heard that it has an amazing, dark, interesting story on the inside, and I can't wait to read it for myself. The next challenge was to read a book with your favorite mythical creature, and I'm not sure if an alien counts, but if it does, I'm reading Luck's Beginnings by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Don't worry, I'm not going to read this whole thing, I'm just going to read the first book in this bind-up. I love aliens, I've always loved sci-fi, and yeah, I've heard really, basically with every other book, I've heard really good things about this. I've had this book sitting on my shelf for a really long time, and so I need to read it before I'm like, Cynthia, why'd you buy it and then not read it? So thank you for giving me this push, Bibliothon. The next challenge is to read a book that you've been putting off, and for me that is Lockdown by Alexander Gordon Smith. I have owned this book since it came out back in 2009. That's been 7 years now that it's just been sitting on my shelf. And I've heard it's super dark. My friend strongly recommended it to me years ago. I think that was the reason I bought this book in the first place, so I need to get to this one. And I read part of The Fury and then had to return to the library. Loved his writing, so I know that I will enjoy this. The next challenge is to read a book from an author you've never read from before, and I am reading Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I don't feel like I need to explain this book. One, because I like going into books not knowing much about them, and two, this cover should just make you want to read it. Made me want to read it. The black pages. Freaking, I've heard amazing things about this, so I'm in, and I have never read the Grisha trilogy before. I'm ashamed, but I feel like this is a good book to start Leigh's writing. And the last challenge is to read a book in a different format than you usually do, and for that I am reading Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson. And yes, I own the physical book, but I also have the audiobook, and I read this book back in 8th grade, and I don't feel like I appreciated it as much as I should have at the time, and I think that it is important to reread this and get the story for more of what it is. I don't know, I just feel like it's a story that should really be appreciated, and I may have been too young when I picked it up to, like I said, appreciate it for all that it is. So yeah, I am excited but also nervous to pick this up again because it's sad, and maybe the last book I read so I don't get into a slump in the middle of a readathon. So guys, that was my TBR for the biannual Bibliothon. Let me know down below if you are participating in it, and feel free to link your videos down below. I would love to watch them. I think that's all from me, and I will see you all next time.